To some international news now, India has joined over 60 other countries to co-sponsor a resolution on COVID-19 pandemic at the World Health Assembly, which is beginning today. CNN News 18 has seen a copy of the draft resolution. Now, without naming China, it has sought an independent inquiry into the COVID-19 crisis. The resolution specifically seeks answers on how the virus jumped from animal to human and the intermediary source. It has also raised questions on the WHO's response to the crisis. Apart from India, Russia, Indonesia, Japan, Britain, Canada, New Zealand and all the 27 European Union member states have also co-sponsored this motion. News has been got to us from Maha Siddiqui, who tracks the External Affairs Ministry for us. Maha, how serious can it really get for China? I know China is not being named, but the indications over there are there. The significance or the diplomatic significance of this resolution.
The diplomatic significance.
Okay, I'm going to go back to Maha in a bit, but a quick recap. It's a resolution which is being backed by India, countries like Russia, Indonesia, Japan, Britain, Canada, New Zealand, as well as 27 European Union member states are also a party to it. The resolution does not name China, but it clearly indicates it because it's raising questions over the World Health Organization's response to the crisis. Yes, Maha. Yes, Maha.
Sorry, Pallavi, the line got disconnected. What I was saying is that from last evening till today, the numbers have gone up of the countries supporting this resolution now, which was brought forth by the EU plus Australia. Now, 62 countries initially were backing this resolution. Now, 116 countries are backing this resolution. And this resolution asks for an inquiry into the origin of the coronavirus. That clearly puts China in the spotlight, in a tough spot as well, because it clearly mentions that there should be on-site investigation. And that would clearly need China to open up their wet markets, because that was the speculation that this virus jumped from animals to humans, from bats to humans via, as again was in the realm of speculation, via a pangolin. So all that is in the realm of speculation, but this resolution says that because this virus has caused havoc in this entire globe, it has led to so many fatalities, and that so far there is no cure, no vaccine yet for it. It is very important for the entire human race to actually know what was the origin of this virus, to be able to further investigate this matter. So really there will be pressure now on China once this resolution is adopted by the World Health Assembly, because it's not like just a handful of countries anymore. It's 116 countries that are supporting this resolution.
Okay, thank you very much, Maha, for getting us those details. But meanwhile, in the news update, the CBSE board exam dates have been announced for 10th and 12th standard. They are going to be held from the 1st or 15th of July, of course, with all the restrictions and protocols in place. For example, the students will have to wear masks. They also will have to carry the sanitizers with them. The results is likely to be announced by August end, before the Indian Institute of Technologies, that is the IIT, declares the merit list for G Advanced. Linked with education, we have a special guest also now, Mr. Ronnie Screwvala. He's the co-founder of Upgrad, which is an online education site. Thank you very much, Mr. Screwvala, for speaking to us. You know,
thank you. Online
education, yes, that's been I won't use the word fad, but that's something which is gaining a lot of popularity. But in these COVID times especially, you think this is something which is the go-to destination?
Well, firstly, I think from complacency, there's a sense of urgency when it's come to online. I would just like to caution everyone that the online is not about just putting a camera on or getting onto a Zoom platform or any other platform and having a live lecture. It's an entire learning experience. So if we start looking at the shortcut to online education, we'll give it a pretty bad name, because online means that I need to take out anonymity. I need to feel like I'm as good as in a college. I need to have feedback. I need counselors. I need teacher feedback. I need examinations. I need tests every week to know that people are on, that nobody can bunk out of this. So online is an entire learning experience. And I think today what people are looking for is supplanting a live lecture with a lecture of a faculty on camera. And that's my only caution, I would say. But having said that, I think the opportunity now has opened up totally, both in the K-12 space, but mostly in the working professional and post-graduation and the higher education space.
You know, Mrs. Grewal, we accept the fact this is something new to India and not many people perhaps would be comfortable yet. But in your interactions and in your experience, has there been a kind of a mind block or a mindset which you have found challenging, where you've had to convince people or the students on the other side that, this is as good as being inside a classroom?
So college students and working professionals, the big mindset has been A, urgency. Second, a return of investment, because they feel, will employers value the aspect of an online credit? And I think that has changed completely. The third is really socioeconomic patterns and your old family support, because most of the time you're paying a fee and then everyone thinks you're sitting at home and you're huddled up and spending 10 to 15 hours a week. The incredible opportunity that online education allows you and gives you is the fact that you can carry on with your job, you can start earning and continue to earn, and yet you're upskilling. And it takes one thing out of it. Most people think that education is only limited to that timeline of when you're between 18 to 24 and you go through your education process, because that's the event and the timing for it. I think the basic supposition for everyone right now is that almost 3 to 4 to 5 years, how am I going to stay relevant? The workforce is going to contract, not only because machine learning and artificial intelligence is coming in, but because more and more the workforce will contract to a certain extent as companies look for the top 50 and the top 60 percentile of performers. So I think today more than ever, there is a very focused attempt by some people as to how do I remain in the 60% top percentile of any company for me to retain my job and to excel and to earn higher.
I do have a question which is coming in from someone who's just logged in, and they're asking this question, and you touched upon it. The fact is that education need not be limited to a particular age group. Now, so someone is 45 and they really want to study once again. UpGrad is a destination to go to?
Absolutely. We are looking at people from 18 to 48, and I'm saying 58, but that's the time when you peak in terms of your learning. But 18 to 48, we expect people to come to us every 5 years in that age group for some sense of ongoing learning, because that's the whole process. And actually, 48 is not a bad time. It's actually a very critical juncture in your life where you might feel a little bit irrelevant in your workforce. You're not young to be sharp enough. You won't get appreciated by them. But it's that very correct time in which if you're planning to work for the next 10 years of your life, you definitely need an upgrade.
And before I let you go, Mrs. Grewal, why have you decided to call it UpGrad? Is there a reason behind it? Is there a message behind it?
Well, I think everyone needs to upgrade. You normally use the word upskill. And I think upskill, you always take it as sort of a lower strata where you feel somebody has to upskill themselves. Upgrade is more about the mind. It's more about your level of confidence. It's about you being able to be in the top level of leadership. And therefore, upgrade. But upgrade sounded odd, so UpGrad sounds sharp.
Okay, so you've convinced me. Most probably you're going to find the next login coming in from me. But thank you very much, Mrs. Grewal, for speaking to us at CNN News 18. Well, we're going to shift focus to some more news from across the country.